We're proper flummoxed. Oh, I see, I said, glancing down at her tiny 4-year-old daughter. Madonna was wearing a Wham t-shirt, a grubby green cardigan, black stonewashed jeans, and red pixie boots. Her fair hair sported 2 pigtails, tied with large pink bows, and she grinned up at me, apparently unaware of the 2 green candles of snot that dangled unattractively from her nose. "And why are you, flummoxed, Mrs. Fazackerly?" I asked.
"Well, me and Ernie, that's her dad, we were wondering how she'd make a mark, so to speak, just like we did."
I removed my black-framed Buddy Holly spectacles and began to polish them with my new 80s slim knitted tie. Make her mark?
"Yes, Mr. Sheffield, 'cause long afore your time, I were captain of netball here at Ragley, and my Ernie were captain of football, and his dad were best runner in school. So our Madonna's 3rd generation of Fazackerlys, and we want her to make her mark as well. 'Cept she's a bit on sensitive side, if you take my meaning."
Sensitive?
"Yes, like this morning, for instance. We're dead things," said Mrs. Fazackerly, leaning towards me as if sharing the secret of the universe.
I shifted my gangling 6-foot-1-inch frame and took a step back towards the office door. "Dead things?"
"Yes, Mr. Sheffield," said Mrs. Fazackerly. "That's why she's not quite herself this morning. It's put her in a right pickle, I can tell you."
She pulled Madonna's arm, and the little girl looked up expectantly.
"Go on, love. Tell Mr. Sheffield what happened to our Henry this morning."
Madonna shook her head, wiped the snot from her nose with the sleeve of her cardigan, and said nonchalantly,
"I pissed in his ear."
"Pardon?" The little girl clearly assumed I was deaf.
"I pissed in his ear," she shouted.
Mrs. Fazackerly nodded vigorously.
"That's right, Mr. Sheffield."
"I'm not quite following," I said.
"Well, our Henry just had a bowl of his favourite liver-flavoured Kitty Cat Supreme, and then all of a sudden, he were just lying there on doormat like a lost soul," said Mrs. Fazackerly.
"Ah, Henry's a cat," I said. Mrs. Fazackerly gave me a puzzled look.
"Yes, of course. And our Madonna tried to wake him up."
"Wake him up? By, doing what you said?"
"That's right, Mr. Sheffield. Our Madonna knelt down proper quiet-like, 'cause she's real sensitive with animals, and whispered, 'Psst,' in his ear. But he couldn't hear her, 'cause poor little sod were dead."
Ah, the penny had dropped.
"So today, on her first day, she might be a bit, backwards and coming forward, so to speak."
"I'm sure Mrs. Granger will look after her, Mrs. Fazackerly, and we'll all try to give Madonna plenty of encouragement," I said reassuringly. Mrs. Fazackerly appeared satisfied.
"Well, you can't say fairer than that, Mr. Sheffield."
And she hurried out of the entrance hall, dragging a bemused Madonna after her. I glanced up at the clock on the office wall, with its faded Roman numerals. It was 8:30 a.m., on Monday the 5th of September, 1983, the first day of the autumn term. My 7th year as head teacher of Ragley-on-the-Forest Church of England Primary School in North Yorkshire had begun. "Another Fazackerly," said a voice from the other end of the entrance hall. It was Anne Granger, the deputy head teacher, who had emerged from the stock cupboard, clutching 2 huge tins of powder paint. Anne, a slim brunette, who looked nothing like her 51 years, was the receptionist class teacher and had taught at Ragley School for as long as she could remember. "Frida was in my class 20 years ago, Jack," she went on with a wry grin. "If the little girl is anything like her mother, we're in for interesting times," and she hurried off to her classroom. When I walked into the school office, Vera, the secretary, was on the telephone, and she didn't sound pleased. "But surely this should have been done during the summer."